Welcome back to the channel, folks. I know it's been a couple months since my last release of a video, but this fall got extremely busy, and then right up into January, and then with the holidays and all that, life just got a little bit too busy for YouTube, so I decided I'd take a little bit of a break. There isn't much going on at the cabin at this moment, due to winter. And thank God, like this following clip shows, that this winter hasn't been anything like last winter. I believe last winter that we ended up with like 140 inches of snow throughout the season. And to date right now we've had 17 inches. And currently on the ground there's only about maybe 6. And that'll probably go down today because we're expecting a record-breaking high today of 43. So that's going to be kind of nice. Anyhow, before I get into what my upcoming plans are, I just figured I'd take you guys through and rehash some of the stuff that we did last year on the cabin and the surrounding properties here with the garden and fruit trees and such. And I'm going to start off with the strawberry patch. So if you all remember in the videos, I started off this area by cleaning it up with the mini excavator that was brought here by my buddy Jamie from Economy Garages. He allowed me usage of the mini excavator for a couple weeks, and we cleaned up around here. Not to mention on the garden site that he did a whole bunch of work, but I'll get into that more in a minute. But anyhow, I had a bunch of those landscaping timbers that I used for the bed of this, and then went ahead and filled it with soil and put 40 plants, I believe, in there. And then because the deer kept eating the tops of the strawberries, I ended up going ahead and putting this fence around it. Just did the same thing that I did on the garden area, which we'll get to in a minute. So that was one project that we did, And then of course planted all these raspberry plants, and then a couple blueberry bushes, but I don't know how they're gonna do. The soil's not quite acidic enough, and I've been trying to add compound to raise it, but just doesn't seem to work. Of course, then if you guys also recall, the wood shed slash storage shed needed to get finished off. Had to put all the battens on and soffits up and get these gable ends finished up. And of course, along with having to put the roof on, because all I had on there was ice and water shield to prevent the snow from getting into it last fall. Then I got a free door. But yeah, I got a pile of wood here that I never did make it in there to get stacked. And obviously we had a lot of cleanup on the property. I had some trees here that while the excavator was here, I uprooted. But I think the biggest time consumption was this garden. It's a 24 by 24 garden. These are made out of 6 by 8 green treat fence posts from guardrails, along with 4 by 4s that I had a bunch of that were laying around here from the old chicken coop. And then while I'm outside, I might as well take you out back to the old apple orchard that we managed to get planted last year also. I think there was 12 apple trees and 4 plum. But before we get to that point, as you recall, we got the outhouse built. And a lot of this material came from a house that I'll also show in a couple clips. This was all the pine that we pulled off the walls, and then some of the maple flooring that we pulled out of that house. So yeah, that turned out pretty decent, nice and clean looking. But then we had the old apple orchard out here, and as I was saying, I believe there's 12 apple trees and 4 plum in this group. So with luck, they'll survive the winter, which has been really mellow this year. But now I think I'll go ahead and step inside and explain what we did a little bit last year on the interior of the cabin. There was a lot that got done in there. I didn't even realize how much got done in there until I started doing this video. Because at the start of January last year, the first video I believe I did was baking bread in the oven, and I'll show a little clip of that. But before we get in there, if you remember, there was that bear that came by and decided to tear part of my ceiling out. Then as I walked over to the cabin here, I noticed a case of beer on the ground, and part of my ceiling tore down. Something was after the bird feeder, and by the holes in these cans, I'm pretty sure I know what it was. Those look like the canine teeth of a big bear. But we'll take a step inside here. Right now I got the back off the stove so I could get the remainder of the cement board up. With the help of Bruce, we stuck this cement board up behind it because I was afraid that that chimney would produce a little bit too much heat. But I was wrong on that. It actually works pretty good. But I'm going to stucco this stuff, and we also wrapped it around as a wainscot. That way I got a textured base with smooth upper. But before we started hanging the sheetrock, you know, the ceiling went in, the ash ceiling, even though I still got a lot of trimming to do on it. I haven't gotten around any of that quite yet, as you can see in the video. After the ceiling went up and the main vent pipe for the plumbing system went through the roof, I got the PEX run and the rest of the insulation finished off, which was kind of a hold up on this wall, and then started to sheetrock. And I started taping it, although I'm not anywhere near finished with that. But in between, you know, we stuck this wall unit in for a source of heat when I don't want to burn wood. It's been quite the busy year. My plans for the next month or two now that kind of went through some of the stuff that we got done around here is to head west. But first, before I head west, I'm going to drop down into Missouri and visit with Happy Place Camping for a weekend. Jesse and Felicity, they're one of my favorite YouTube couples, and I enjoy watching some of their videos. But so I'll be dropping down there, and then from hanging out with them, I need to go see my ex-stepfather for a day or two just to visit with him. He's getting up in that age bracket now where it might be the last time I see him. And then I want to kind of stop over in Shawnee, Oklahoma, and visit with my uncle for a bit if time and direction works out. Because I still need to make it down to Tombstone to visit another favorite YouTuber, and that's Brian from Adventure Van Man. And then I'm going to work my way up into Four Corners, or I may hit Four Corners before I go search out Brian. Depends on the route I want to take. And then basically ending up in Sandpoint, Idaho to visit Josh from Essential Mountain Homesteading. Another channel that I watch quite a bit. He just now started putting up videos again, so I'm kind of happy for that. But anyhow, that's kind of the plans. I bought a new to me 2017 Jeep Wrangler Sierra. I put a rooftop tent on it, and I've got a little 12-volt refrigerator and a little camp stove, and that's what I'm gonna probably live in for the next month or two. So I'm hoping everybody will tag along and watch some of them videos, and then when I get back home, I'll be hitting the old cabin pretty hard again. And one of the first things is, if you all recall, I got a bunch of windows for a greenhouse that I want to put up in front of the garden area. And I think that would be a great addition to the little cabin homestead here. And from there, who knows? But I do have to finish up the drywall and taping in here, along with getting the stucco on. As the long-time viewers know, 2 years ago I made the cabinets for in here. Hopefully everything fits, because that was done before just to stay out of the extreme cold. I've never been a big fan of making cabinets when the walls aren't finished off right away. So we'll see how bad I screwed that up. But anyhow, I thank everyone for hanging out with the journey so far, and we will see you probably on the first video on my trip. Until then, take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video.